Hello guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we will analyze the cheapest capital cities to live in Europe. So, if you want to live in Europe on a budget, but at the same time you don't want to end up in a secluded and isolated city, this video is for you. And before we start the usual talk, you are probably already tired of listening to this, but anyways. If you want to travel or invest abroad, hit the like button, check our other videos, book a consultation call with me, the link is in the description. And most importantly, subscribe. Let's start. We will start our video with Tbilisi, Georgia, a city that you often hear about here on the channel. Tbilisi is not just one of the cheapest capital cities to live in Europe, but also one of the best cities to live in the world when we analyze the cost of living and quality of life relation. Tbilisi has everything you can expect from a modern capital city, including a good urban transport infrastructure with a pretty reliable metro network. It is also relatively easy to get in and out of Tbilisi, despite its rather distant location in the Caucasus region. Every aspect of the cost of living in Tbilisi is quite low. That includes renting or buying a property, as well as services, groceries, and even overall tax rates. Another aspect that is worth mentioning is that staying in Georgia is very cheap. Most Western passport holders can stay in the country for up to 1 year visa-free, without having to start a company or show that you have a pension or any kind of income from abroad, for example. The next city is Tirana, the capital of Albania. Albania is an up-and-coming destination for remote workers and retirees from Europe and North America. Despite its small size, Albania has everything one can expect from a great place to work online or live from passive income sources. It has amazing beaches, beautiful mountains, and a relatively mild climate year-round. All of this is easily reachable under a 1-hour drive from the heart of the capital, Tirana. Needless to say, apart from being highly attractive in many ways, the reason why Tirana made it to this list is because it is one of the cheapest capital cities to live in Europe. From real estate to services, you can expect to find that everything costs below the average for European capitals in Tirana. Getting a residence permit in Albania is quite inexpensive, and recently the government overhauled its immigration laws, making it easier and cheaper for retirees, digital nomads, and real estate owners to reside in the country of Albania. Belgrade, the capital and the largest city of Serbia, is the next option in our list of the cheapest capital cities to live and visit in Europe. Belgrade is not only the capital of Serbia, but also the largest city in the Balkan region of Europe. So if you like large cities in Europe and at the same time you enjoy living in a place with a low cost of living, living in Belgrade is probably one of the best options currently. In Belgrade, you will find all amenities of living in a large city, except for a good public transport network, which is definitely not Belgrade's strongest point. Belgrade has direct connections to most large cities in Europe, and even direct flights to the US. The cost of living is low, but there are cities in this list like Tirana or Tbilisi which are certainly cheaper than the capital of Serbia. Getting a residence permit to live in Serbia is also affordable, and you can do it by opening a company and working as a freelancer, for example, or even by buying real estate in Serbia. The next city is Sarajevo. Sarajevo is the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a country with a turbulent past, yet, at the same time, one of the most underrated destinations in Central and Eastern Europe. Bosnia not only has one of the cheapest capital cities to live in Europe, but it is also a paradise for nature lovers, with beautiful mountains and even a tiny coast on the Adriatic Sea. Prices in Sarajevo are slightly less than other major regional cities like Zagreb in Croatia or Belgrade in Serbia. Bosnia and Herzegovina is also not part of the EU, which can be an advantage to some people. Apart from cheap prices, if you decide to settle in Sarajevo, you'll pay very little in taxes. The current income tax rate is just 10% for individuals. The easiest way to get a residence permit in Bosnia is by buying property in the country. The next city is Sofia. Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria and the first city in the European Union to make it to our list of the cheapest capital cities to live in Europe. Sofia is in fact the cheapest capital considering all the members of the European Union in its current form. Despite the fact that Bulgaria is in the European Union, it's neither part of the Schengen area nor part of the Eurozone, which includes the countries using the euro currency. These reasons, together with a bunch of other economic reasons, make Bulgaria, and thus its capital Sofia, one of the cheapest places to be in Europe. Property prices are especially cheap in Bulgaria. So if you want to buy an apartment at a very heart of an European Union capital, this is the place to do it if your funds are limited. The next city is Chisinau. Chisinau is the capital of Moldova, often ranked as the poorest nation in Europe, although this place is often disputed with Kosovo. It comes as no surprise then to see that Chisinau made it to the list of the cheapest capitals to visit and live in Europe. Chisinau is an extremely affordable European city to live in, and so is the whole country of Moldova. I personally believe that Moldova may experience a lot of economic growth over the next few years, but this can be a risky bet. It will all depend on how integrated Moldova can be to the West, and also on the possibilities of Moldova to join the European Union. Podgorica, the capital of Montenegro, is the last city in today's video, featuring the cheapest capitals to visit and live in Europe. Montenegro is a country blessed by nature. Its coast on the Adriatic Sea has some of the most mesmerizing views you can possibly see on the planet, and its coast is also a relatively expensive place to stay for a short or for a longer period. The capital Podgorica, however, is not on the coast, and it's broadly much more affordable than the coast itself, even though not being very far from it. Podgorica is a small city, so you cannot expect the flair of a metropolis while strolling around the Montenegrin capital. But if you want to be in a city with good flight connections in Europe and to have easy access to embassies and other types of services, Podgorica is definitely a good option. Getting a residence permit in Montenegro is also quite easy and inexpensive, and it can be arranged by buying property in the country or opening a company in Montenegro. Now I'm gonna talk about 2 extra cities in today's video. I have decided to add 2 cities in our list today for one specific reason. Even if they are not among the most inexpensive capitals in Europe in real terms, they are the cheapest in their own category of European capitals. So let's go. The first extra city in today's list is Riga, the capital of Latvia, in the Baltic region of northeastern Europe. The reason why I believe Riga deserves a place in this video is because it is the cheapest European capital, which is inside the Schengen area and also uses the euro as its currency. Being in the Schengen area is definitely an important thing, especially if you have a weaker passport. And the fact that Latvia uses the euro brings a high level of stability to any country's economy. Riga has both of these assets, so to say, combined with the cheapest prices you'll find when compared to countries in a similar position, being in the Schengen area and using the euro as their currency. What pushes prices down in Riga is mostly real estate, which is far less expensive in Riga than other cities in the Baltics, like Tallinn or Vilnius, and definitely cheaper than most other European Union capitals that use the euro as its currency. Athens is the last city in today's video, and it's actually an extra city just like Riga, as it's not really among the cheapest European capitals to live in. The reason why Athens is in the list is because it is the cheapest city among the so-called Western European countries, even though its geographical location is not that westward anyway. Athens, Greece, recently became the cheapest capital in Western Europe, as Lisbon, the former cheapest city in Western Europe, became more expensive than Athens. One of the cheapest aspects of living in Athens is renting. If you want to live in a developed, large European city, you can definitely find some of the cheapest rental deals in the Greek capital Athens. Apart from that, getting a residence permit in Greece is not necessarily that cheap, but it will depend on the category of your residence permit. I would call Athens a good deal for retirees, and also with the recent digital nomad visa, it can be a good option for remote workers as well. And that's it for today's video. Write down in the comments section to which of these cities you'd like to move to. And to end the video, the usual gibberish. If you want to travel, move, or invest abroad, hit the like button, check our other videos, book a consultation call with me, links in the description. And most importantly, subscribe. See you next time.